Marvin Ryder of the DeGroote School of Business points out that the Ford government probably hoped the budget would be solely that of recovery from the pandemic. Instead, it's a mix of recovery while also trying to beat the still present virus. That's resulting in over $186 billion in spending, with $6.7 billion for pandemic measures, and will ultimately become $500 billion in debt by 2024.
Whenever a government runs a deficit, it has to go out and borrow money. And because Ontario has been running a deficit now for so long, we add up all those deficits and the accumulation is considered Ontario's debt. The gamble they're taking is that over time, if I can get the economy to grow, then I can handle that debt. And eventually it sort of becomes less of a concern for us.
Finance Minister Peter Bethlenfalvy believes that keeping people healthy leads to a healthier economy. Thus, the PCs are spending an additional $16.3 billion in healthcare, including $1 billion for its continued vaccination rollout and $2.3 billion for testing and contact tracing. As hospitals continue to exceed capacity due to the pandemic and other issues, the Ford government is set to spend $1.8 billion to bolster the industry. $760 million will go to building 3,100 new beds. $300 million will be spent to reduce the backlog of operations and procedures forced to be pushed back due to COVID, and $778 million will be spent towards other services like hospital expansion and funding for specialty hospitals. In addition, $175 million is being spent towards improved mental health and addiction services. When it comes to families, the province is doubling the child benefit payment. The third installment increases from $200 to $400 per child and $500 for children with disabilities. In terms of child care, the government is proposing a temporary 20% increase in the amount of child care spending a family can claim during tax season from $1,250 to $1,500. And for small businesses that qualify, grants of $10,000 and $20,000 will become available. The Ontario Small Business Support Grant has so far cost the government $3.4 billion. And when asked why there isn't any new spending announced towards education, Minister Bethlenfalvy had this to say.
We spent $1.6 billion so far, including this calendar year for the calendar school year, to make sure that they could come back safely. We've invested in making sure that the staffing is there, make sure that the cleaning is there, made sure that the testing, the public health nurses,